Good morning, YouTube. So I've done it. I have taken the step to step away from a clock in, clock out job and start taking off with my own business. I will be very excited to see where things go. It's going to be fun. Be sure and check out my website. You can get some more information on what all I can do. And yeah, we're going to have fun. But today's video, we're going to talk more about mentality and mindset changes. I mentioned in my last video, what goes in comes out of your mind. Now that is something that a lot of people don't take seriously. Something that a lot of people don't think about. My children, I remember trying to teach them to be careful what kind of music they listen to, because what goes in comes out. And the more you immerse yourself in any type of music, the more you become part of that culture. The more you become like what you're listening to. If you don't believe me, change the kind of music you listen to for a week. 1 week, change it and see if your attitude doesn't change. See if the way you think doesn't change. I personally didn't believe it when I was younger at first. And my wife challenged me to go a week without listening to some of the heavier stuff I was listening to. I was listening to, some gangster rap, a whole lot of, old school stuff. You wouldn't think of it to look at me now. But, Dre, Snoop, Pac, all that kind of stuff I was into and I was listening to. And, I used to run around with, groups of people that were like that, ran the streets. Again, I know, hard to see looking at who I am today, but I did. And she challenged me to go a week without listening to that kind of music. Change it up. Just go 1 week and see what happened. And within 3 days, there was a noticeable difference in the way I was thinking. I wasn't as angry. I wasn't as frustrated. I wasn't, constantly thinking negatively about pretty much everything around me. And that's when it really hit me. The music I listen to does affect how I act and who I am. Okay. Move on with life, get into sales, start listening to Zig Ziglar, and he talks about some of the same things. What goes in comes out. You got to put in the positive. You've got to put in the right stuff to get the right stuff back out. A lot of people are struggling with getting a business started, with having the strength, the bravery, the courage, there you go, to step out. And majority of the problem is their own mind. They are already afraid of imaginary things that will never happen. They've already crammed into their mind, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that. You're scared of yourself. You have already drilled it into your own head that something's wrong. And so that's where your mind is going to focus, and it's going to find things wrong. Where the exact opposite will happen as well. When you focus on what's right, when you focus on what you're thankful for, when you start your day and end your day in gratitude, thankful for what you've got, you look at the abundance that you have already, and more comes. That's what you start to see. You start to see opportunity. You start to see doors opening. You start to see people and things that you've never noticed before. That's the power of your mind. Feed it with positivity. Feed it with reality. All right? Your reality is what your mind says it is. That's all there is to it. Your reality is what your mind says it is. I can prove it to you. Anybody who doesn't believe it, I can prove it to you in a heartbeat. Take a 12 by 2 board, 12 inches wide, 2 inches thick. Lay it on the floor in your garage and walk across that board without touching the ground. You can do it easy. You can walk right across that board, no big deal. It's freaking foot wide. Now let's make it a little more realistic for you. Let's take a bunch of fans and set up all along one side that are blowing at you across that board and now walk across it without touching the floor. You can still do it. You can walk right across it, no problem. Take that same 12 by 2 board, string it between 2 buildings 40 foot in the air. Now what happens? Now you're not sure if you can walk across it or not. Now you're not sure if you want to or not. That's a long way to fall. That's a long way down. What if something happens? What if the wind blows? What if I slip? Imaginary. Every damn bit of it is imaginary. It's all what ifs. It's all fears you put into your own mind. Walk across that damn board because you know you can. You won't have a problem with it at all. But what your mind thinks is your reality. No matter what the truth really is, your reality is what your mind thinks. Reality isn't always truth. Think about that one for a bit. So you've got to feed your mind with the right things. You need to listen to positivity. This is one of the biggest things that I teach companies, that I teach sales teams. All the negativity around people is what drags your sales down. All the negativity around you is what drags your family down. What drags your mind and your attitude down and affects everything around you. Everything. And it's a simple little shift of the mind that makes it all better. Stop having to go to work and get to. Stop having to get up and mow the lawn. You get to. Be thankful that you've got a lawn to mow. Be thankful you've got a lawnmower that runs. Be thankful that your legs work so you're able to get out and mow that lawn. Switch it to a positive mindset. You can still see the exact same situation in a positive light. It's the exact same thing. You can take dang near any situation, if not any, but I'll say dang near just in case there's one or two I can't think of at the moment, and turn it into something positive. You can always find another way to look at it as perspective. But if all you do is feed your mind with negativity, if all you do is hear people complaining and whining all the time, if you're listening to music that's, putting people down and talking negatively about things, talking about suicide, talking about drugs, talking about, this, that, and the other, that's what your mind's going to concentrate on. That's where your mind is going to be. That's the attitude you will show. I promise you, it happens. It's human psychology. You can't help it. You don't mean to. And if you don't think it affects you, I'm telling you, try it. Try it. You've got to have a very, very strong will to not allow it to affect you. Very strong. My mentor is very big on saying it's environment over willpower. Shift your environment around to be productive, to be successful, to be positive, to remind you of what's coming, of where you are, of who you truly are, and get rid of all the stuff that reminds you of the negativity. You get rid of the negativity, you can only see positive. If you can only see positive, it's all you look for. It's all you find. Your willpower very rarely will be strong enough to push through psychology. Your brain works the way it works. Your willpower to force that is not easy. So you've got to feed yourself positivity. Change the music you listen to. Change the people you hang around with. Change the way your home looks. Take those bills and throw them away after they're paid. Hide them under the frickin' silverware or something. Put them someplace where you're not constantly seeing them everywhere you look. Pull them out when you need to deal with them. Hide them when you're done. Put other things around that show the positivity, that show the abundance, that show what you're thankful for, and quit seeing the negativity all the time. You'll start finding more positive, I promise. Stop listening to the people that you listen to. Stop listening to the complainers at work. Stop listening to the whiners at work. Don't be one of them. Don't hang around with them. This is the hardest part of fixing your mentality, of fixing your mind, of putting yourself in a position to be more than you are now, is to get rid of the people you hang around with that don't want to lift you up to get you there. If you've got friends that are constantly telling you, no, your dreams aren't reality, that doesn't work, you can't do this, that, or the other, that's not the way normal people do things, blah de blah, they're right. You're going to sit there and you're going to take that, you're going to listen to it, you're going to let it eat at your brain, and you're never going to crawl out of it. That's the hardest part of finally getting it right. That is the most difficult part for most people, is to start getting rid of the negative Nancys and Neds in their lives. To step away from those people that just want to put you down, that just want to tear you down, that just want to tell you you can't, you're not good enough, or it's not right. You got to get rid of the negativity. You got to get positive. I challenge you today, write down every morning, write down what you are grateful for that day. Write it down. Every morning, read through that list and add to it as more things come to mind. I'll put money on it. It says that list grows and grows and grows. And when you read through that list of everything that you are grateful for every day, that's how you start your morning, is reading through that list, your day will be great. And it'll just get better. As your list gets bigger and bigger of all the things that you've got, of all the things that you're grateful for, you'll start seeing more. You'll totally change your perspective. You will go from being negative-minded to being a good finder, as Zig Ziglar called it. And you'll start seeing the good. You'll start seeing the positive. After you're done writing out the things you're thankful for, reading through and adding on, then I want you to write down your goals. Now, get my book, get my ebook, Exposure Secrets. Look at that. That's going to tell you how to handle your goals. It's got 5 of the biggest life-changing bits that I have learned. You can find them anywhere. You don't have to get my book to find them. I've picked them up from, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Dan Locke, all sorts of people. Grant Cardone's had a couple of pieces in there added in. I don't agree with everything he says, but some of it's right. I've taken bits and pieces from all of these people. I have put them all together, and I have put the 5 most important ones, in my opinion, and more specifically for business purposes, getting your head right, into this book. So get the book, take the gratitude challenge, see what it does for you. Get my book, see what those tips do for you. Start writing down your goals and watch your life take off. And then come back here and tell me about it. Come back here and leave in the comments next week how you did. What changed? What didn't? What you thought of the whole experience. Let's do this. I challenge you all. Do it today. Pardon me. Do it today. So get my book. Get that downloaded. Go through it. And I'm open to criticism. Please tell me what's wrong with it. Don't just come in and tell me this is crap, this sucks, whatever. Tell me why. What is it that you don't like? Help me to learn. Or maybe I can explain it in a way that you'll understand better. Connect with me on Facebook. Connect with me on Instagram. However you want to. Subscribe here. Make sure you tick that little bell. Get notified every time something new comes up. Keep the positivity flowing, folks. All right? That's what we're here for. Let's grow. Let's gain. And let's live. All right. We will talk to y'all next time. Have a good day.